the goblet before him in a single huge gulp. You can smell the sour reek of stale alcohol in the air. Hello, 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. So, you finally came, and you even dragged the commander along. I suspected that you wouldn't come here alone. You know, I've been wondering when you would finally show your face here. Haven't I always taught you that it is extremely impolite to be late for an appointment?
Papa, you stink. I believe you'll forgive me for this weakness under the circumstances, and if you don't, you can always leave. I won't stop you. The door's right over there. Horgus, you were expecting us. This isn't a chance meeting.
It was not you I was expecting, although I thought you might put in an appearance. No, I was waiting for 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. Some time ago, I received a letter from my beloved daughter, in which she invited me to meet her here at my mansion in 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿. I came as quickly as I could. I have been here for several days now, waiting for my dearest daughter to arrive. Horgus frowns at you, examining your face. Don't tell me you knew nothing about this meeting? Could it be that my sweet girl has you wrapped around her little finger, that she tricked you into coming here to watch the spectacle unfold? The little minx. He gesticulates wildly, spilling half the contents of his goblet on the floor.
Gesticulates. Awesome. What did you do after I left for the Abyss?
I left Drazen as soon as the Queen took hold of the reins of government. Of course, I highly respect our dear Gaffery, but it was you I had followed into the crusade, not her. For whatever reason, I do not believe our Queen will succeed in her attempts to defeat the wound. So, I moved to Nerosian while my mansion in 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 was under renovation.
But none of that matters anymore, does it? 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿, what's going on here? She remains silent. You can't see her face, but you hear her breathing, shallow and fast. Her shoulders are rising and falling jerkily, and her right hand is trembling. I came here to help 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 talk to the spirits. I didn't expect to meet you here.
Surprised, were you? As for me, I knew the moment I received her letter why she wanted to meet with me. She wants to talk to the spirits, does she? How can you have spent so much time with my talented daughter without realizing that whenever 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 wishes to talk to a spirit, it always involves Horgus gulps. Murder. I have no idea what kind of spirit she has in that bone trinket. But why would it want so much blood? Horgus takes a huge gulp from his goblet and immediately refills it again. You do know that 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 killed 5 people while she lived under this roof, don't you? First, her mentor, an old Varishian woman. Then 4 more. Well, they were thugs, bandits, and murderers. They had it coming, to tell the truth. They broke into this mansion seeking to rob us. That's 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 for you, a border city with all kinds of riffraff lurking about. My guards caught them, tied them up, and tossed them in the cellar. They never reported the break-in to the authorities. Why bother? Those thugs would have been executed anyway. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 always made short shrift of such rabble. Eek, Horgus belches noisily. But the things 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 did to them down in the cellar. I never saw it myself. I only heard it. And then later, when I buried their corpses, I felt relieved that I was not in their place. Ha. Ha ha ha.
𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 remains silent. Only the sound of her labored breathing indicates that she's still here. Why did you condone 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿's inclinations? Why did you protect her secret? Why did you cover up the murders?
Horgus straightens his back proudly. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 is the daughter of Horgus 𝐴𝐴𝐵𝐿. A true daughter, my blood, though I may have concealed that fact from society. Yes, she is special. Unusual. Very sensitive to the world around her. Whose fault is it that the damned spirits drove her insane? I know nothing about spirits, I have never talked to them myself. But 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿, she is naturally gifted, she understands them. She says we have a chance to learn how to close the world wound once and for all. This end justifies all means, doesn't it, Commander? What is a father to do? Horgus sighs heavily. His shoulders slump as if weighed down by a burden he has been carrying for many years. The bloodline of Horgus 𝐴𝐵𝐿 cannot be broken. And I have no other heirs.
𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿, explain. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 jolts slightly and turns to you. Her eyes seem to look right through you. Her lips are parted and her rasping breath reminds you of an animal's growl. Her right hand is clutching a thin stiletto that seems to have come out of nowhere. No, actually, I just watched her pull it out.
Isn't it obvious? Horgus stands up heavily from the table and approaches his daughter, stumbling a little. She has finally come to take my life. I've been waiting for this moment since the day it all began. I knew it would come. Of course, I had hoped that 𝐂𝐿𝐴 would placate her spirits somehow, or perhaps that the commander would close the Worldwound and put an end to all these sacrifices. But it's too late for that now. I am ready to die. My whole life is a lie. It does not even feel like mine, but someone else's. I did everything I could to ensure that the name of 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴 would go down in history and his bloodline live on. I have had to lie and cover up crimes along the way. Well, the time has come to pay the piper, and if my death helps to uncover the secret of closing the Worldwound, well, it's not the worst way to go. 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴 gulps. But before you do what you came here to do, 𝐂𝐿𝐴, let me reveal my final secret to you.
𝐂𝐿𝐴's voice sounds alien and unfamiliar. It is hoarse and low, like gravel crunching underfoot. Talk.
Your mother, Iris, genuinely loved you, 𝐂𝐿𝐴. But after she saw how you killed that pup in the garden, she started to worry about you. It was she who insisted on the doctors and the psychics and the exorcists. They all examined you, but nothing helped. You kept on killing animals, neighboring cats, stray dogs. You told us stories about the spirits who whispered in your ear. Iris didn't believe you really had a special ability to communicate with the spirits. She didn't think you were gifted, but I did. As if a daughter of 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴 could be no more than a lunatic. Several years passed like that. Several very grueling years. For Iris more than myself. And then one night, 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴 swallows the lump in his throat. I entered your room and saw Iris leaning over your bed with a pillow in her hands. I pushed her away from you. It was dark, Iris stumbled and she hit her head on the corner of a cabinet. I buried her in the garden, and planted a flower bead of 𝐂𝐿𝐴's over her grave. I thank the gods that you remembered nothing of that horrible night. Now you know everything, 𝐂𝐿𝐴. 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴 sighs. It was an accident. But I was prepared to do it, and I would do the same again if I had to. The bloodline of 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴 cannot be broken. Forgive me, 𝐂𝐿𝐴. Forgive me for keeping you locked away. Forgive me for never acknowledging you as my daughter. Forgive me for depriving you of your mother and never being able to replace her. Now I have said everything. I'm ready. You killed my mother? And you decided to tell me that now? 𝐂𝐿𝐴's whisper sounds like a hissing of a venomous snake. Why? To unburden your soul? To show me how you protected me back then? Maybe you're hoping I'll hesitate before I stab you in your disgusting heart. Or are you trying to make me weep for my mother, the innocent victim? Well, I don't give a damn about her. The bitch wanted me dead and she failed, good riddance, I say. And I don't give a damn about you either, 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴. I don't care about your bloodline or about any excuses you can come up with. Do you really think that I couldn't have escaped your mansion if I'd wanted to? You never acknowledged me as your daughter, 'twas no skin off my nose. You wanted to marry a noblewoman to continue the 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴 line, well, that was your own affair. You provided for me and didn't try to stop me communing with the spirits. I never wanted anything more from you. But now I don't need you anymore. I have Draco, who will protect me and hide me from justice if it comes for me. As for you, you are just garbage left over from my former life. And it's time to dispose of you. The stiletto trembles in 𝐂𝐿𝐴's hand. She grips the handle so tight her knuckles turn white.
Say nothing.
The stiletto freezes in front of 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴's heart. 𝐂𝐿𝐴 licks her parched lips. A secret for a secret, 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴. I have dreamed of doing this for a long time. I've dreamed of this without even realizing it was my heart's desire. You were always near, my protector and patron. How could I even entertain the thought of killing you? But the forbidden fruit is so much sweeter. The stiletto softly pierces 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴's chest. He flinches. An involuntary moan bursts from his lips. His foul breath hits 𝐂𝐿𝐴's face, but she doesn't even wince. Her eyes drink in every grimace of pain on her father's face. Can you feel that? Just one little stab, and your life starts to bleed out. My stiletto has pierced your heart. Now it withers, impaled, like a butterfly on a pin. If I drag the stiletto out now, you'll die quickly. But if I keep it in, you'll suffer longer, perhaps even choke on your own blood. So which should I choose? The stiletto plunges into 𝐻𝐻𝐿𝐴's chest, right up to the handle. He coughs, blood bubbling on his lips. With the last vestiges of his strength, he stands before 𝐂𝐿𝐴 and looks her straight in the eye. Don't you have anything to say? Or do you think you can maintain some dignity, even at the very end? You think you have it in you. She rips the stiletto out of 𝐿𝐴's chest only to stab him again. You are garbage. Get out of my life. The stiletto plunges into 𝐿𝐴 again and again until his chest begins to look like a bloody mess. Die. Die once and for all, 𝐿𝐴 squirm.
𝐿𝐴 can take some hits, yo. It's all over now. I've rid myself of my past. I suppose I should feel happy. Why then do I feel so tired? 𝐂𝐿𝐴 gets to her feet and smooths her tousled hair. It was all over too quickly, don't you agree, my friend? As if something was missing. It's like having sex without climaxing. The end result is naught but exhaustion. Perhaps it's because 𝐿𝐴 did not try to resist. 𝐂𝐿𝐴 taps her chin with her fingers pensively. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. Let's have some more fun, shall we? Why didn't you tell me? I just didn't. Perhaps I wanted to surprise you, or perhaps I was worried that you tried to talk me out of it. So are you ready to talk to Maria now? No, not quite yet. But don't worry. I shall be ready soon. Just one last step. One final drop. Did she really crave 𝐿𝐴's blood, or is it just what you wanted? Yes and yes. Maria and I are one. Her desires are my desires. We've become quite inseparable at this point. What did you have in mind? 𝐿𝐴 did bring me some small amount of pleasure, of course, but it was not enough. I want to make up for lost time. Let loose like never before to celebrate my ultimate liberation. There's an awful lot of servants in this mansion. Let's gather them all in the garden and feed Maria with their blood together, you and I. What do you say? I've never done this with another person before. Until now, you've only been an observer, and I want my first time to be with you, my friend. You've killed enough. No, I'm not eating, drinking. No. 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 What right do you have to tell me what to do? I did not break free of 𝐿𝐴's tyranny, only to surrender to yours. I'm free now, and I shall do as I please. Besides, it's Maria's will. A paltry 10 servants, and we shall be able to get through to her at last. The price is reasonable. Well, we know this isn't going to close the Worldwound. Wow, they just really don't give us a lot of choices here, do they? Shit. Have fun. Please come here. I have an important. You're all fired. Hardly surprised. Everyone knows that 𝐷 changes his servants all the time. This can't be. I want to speak to Lord 𝐷 himself. But at least get my week's wages. Oh, don't worry. Lord 𝐷 has tasked me with ensuring everyone is paid in full. No one will leave empty-handed.
The heartbeat quickens.
Like, this is... am I even going to get a chance to do anything? I'm just going to cast this.
I suppose we are done here. We certainly had a good time, didn't we? Did you like it, my friend? It was a little different from my usual sacrifices to Maria.
Maria.
But mass murder does have its own appeal. It's wild, primordial, unbridled. You felt it too, didn't you? The exhilaration.
What a sick bitch.
You know, I suppose you deserve a confession. I have never said anything like this to anyone before. Are you ready? Steel yourself. You are the best friend I could ever hope to have. You understand me. You help me. You are the best thing that has happened to me in my entire life.
I just want... Okay, I'm not going to spoil anything. Anyway, yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad you think so.
You know, now that we're so close, I wish to confess something else to you. Are you ready? There is no Maria. I made her up.
Oh, okay. That is a hell of a twist. Wow.
Isn't it obvious? To have a reasonable explanation for all the murders. So that my protector would be too busy thinking of our bright future to lecture me on morality and decency. I like to kill. I don't simply want it. I need it. It is something deep within me. My desire is like an annoying fly buzzing around a room. One that cannot be seen or swatted away. But the deaths of enemies on the battlefield don't bring me any relief. It comes only with the deaths of those who considered me a friend. The deaths must be unexpected, so that I can see the disbelief and dread in my victims' eyes. But I am a clever girl. I know that society would never condone my unconventional desires. So I invented a nice story that I could feed to those who would protect me from society. As you may have noticed, my lie has worked remarkably well. Of course it was. After you and I visited the brothel in Al-Shanira, I felt an unexpected and overwhelming desire to see my dear sweet papa. So as soon as we returned to Dresden, I made some inquiries and learned that he had moved to Nerosian. I sent him a letter inviting him to meet me at his mansion in Canabris, and that's when I asked you to accompany me. I decided it would be best not to disclose the true purpose of our visit to you. If you had known that Horgus would be waiting for us here, you might have discerned my intentions.
Why have you decided to tell me all this now?
Ah, that's a good question. You would have learned the truth sooner or later, you know. I've told you too many stories about Maria. You never would have let the matter lie. Of course, I could have left, fled in the dead of night, leaving you a farewell note. But I like traveling with you, my friend. I like feeling the power you've shared with me. That is why I decided to take the risk and open up to you.
Where do you draw your power from then?
I draw it from the spirits, just like all shamans do. Spirits surround us. They are everywhere, even within the Worldwound. Only they never beg me to save them or try to tell me how to heal Sarkoris. To be honest, I couldn't care less about Sarkoris, the Worldwound, or the Crusade. My sphere of interest lies elsewhere.
What's the story behind your amulet?
This? Once a snake crawled into our garden. I killed it, gutted it, dried out its bones, and then I told Horgus about Maria and asked him to decorate the amulet with gold and make it into a necklace. Despite its mundane origins, it is now imbued with magic that hides me from the prying eyes of 𝐿𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐷's paladins and inquisitors. Daddy Dearest was quite insistent on that point. Clearly, he feared that if I were ever caught, I would reveal all the dirty secrets of the Gwyrms to the world. But now that I'm with you, I have no need of this amulet anymore, do I? No one would dare lay a finger on a companion of the Crusade commander.
I suspected you were lying to me. Yeah, sure.
Did you? You hid your true thoughts from me very well. You are an excellent liar. Perhaps even better than I am. My sincerest congratulations.
I've heard enough.
Is the interrogation over? Good. I was beginning to feel rather bored. So, what is your verdict, my friend?
I accept you as you are because this is my evil playthrough. Because that's what friends do.
Thank you for hearing me out, for understanding and accepting me. I must confess, I was a little worried about how this conversation would go. I have no more secrets from you, I promise. Provided, of course, that you can still believe my promises.
Yeah. You're not allowed anywhere near my room. All guards have an order to stop you. You crazy bitch. Okay. Anything worth looting out here? Probably not. No, they were just servants. Wow. All right. Yeah, that's insane. Suppose I should pick all of us.
Wherever my legs carry me.
How do I get out of this madness? There we go. I need. Oh. Oh, we forgot to loot Orgus. Or didn't have a chance to. Before we gathered up all the servants and slaughtered them in the garden. Okay. I just feel like it takes a long time. Still just the one? It seems like a second one, huh? No, just the one. Let's see, they're gonna hit here and come all the way up to here. Wow. Not that they'll make it that far, but... All right. Now, where was that other... What are you doing there? Is that where we are supposed to be going? Remember the quest? Okay, so that's all done. Blockade of reinforcements. It was marching from 𝐂𝐚𝐽 to help Queen Galfrey was trapped. Surrounded by demonic forces, the soldiers had to assume an all-round defense. If they don't get help, soon they'll all be dead. Where is that? I have no idea. I'm not seeing anything on the map. Nothing new anyway. Hmm. So we have found all the locations. So we just, yeah, Legacy of the Ancients. Forgotten Secrets. Oh, that one's down here. We haven't. Okay, so maybe not. I have no idea where that last one is. So, I guess we will head back. Can we teleport? We can. Okay, let's teleport to Dresden. Oh, the amulet. Cool. The detachment of Crusaders summoned from Canabras by the military council to aid the cause have found itself in grave danger. They've been completely blocked off by demonic forces and have been forced to take up defensive positions. If they're not rescued, they will all die. Okay, so this is, we were going to make the amulet, right? Yeah. That's all we got there. Okay. I think to enter, go Citadel. All right. And that is going to do it for this episode. Looking down at the time, yeah, I got to get going. But yeah, we will pick up right here next time. And if you're new around here, think about subscribing, clicking the bell notification icon so you get notified the next time I post a video. We are wrapping up this Lich playthrough. We are well into Act 5, almost done with all the companion quests, and we can start moving back into the main storyline and get this thing wrapped up. I appreciate everyone who is watching this series. Thank you very much for that. And until next time, you take care of yourselves out there. This is Draco Invictus saying this has been the best day of my life. See ya!